What's going on, y'all? Machiavelli Mills TV. So recently, Dr. Umar was on the Joe Budden podcast, right? And I haven't been able to watch the whole episode or nothing. I don't even know where to find the whole episode. I don't know if it's dropped on YouTube or not. I doubt it because I was trying to look for it. But I've been seeing clips on Twitter of Dr. Umar addressing Ish, light-skinned guy on a podcast who has a white girlfriend, and basically telling him how he's not living pro-black due to him having a white girlfriend, a girlfriend that's non-black, right? Then he goes on and talks about like other men who have married non-black women and how those women have put money in non-black causes a lot of times after that person is deceased. And like, how being married to a black woman, that keeps you solidified in being pro-black. And so I want to discuss if those things are true. First of all, like I mentioned on this channel, I have close friends of mine, family members who I love dearly, like close people who either have dated white women, are currently dating a white woman or a non-black woman, or who is married to a white woman, right? So I'm never trying to be denigrating to any of my folks because I love them to death, you know what I mean? And I'm never going to police a man and try to get him to like what I like or do what I do or tell him who to marry, who to date or whatever, right? But me personally, I have found non-black women attractive. Yes, I have. There have been some white women who are celebrities who I thought was fine, look nice. There have been other non-black women who I thought were fine and look nice. But as I've gotten older, well, first of all, I always told y'all my preference was always black women. I would date a 7 black woman before I even look at like a foreign black girl. I mean, not foreign black girl, a foreign woman. A foreign woman. I would date a black girl who is a 7. Most of the time, I'm gonna look at her a lot before I even look at a foreign girl. A foreign girl got to be super duper fine for me to even be like engaged and enamored with her, right? I've never had this affinity for foreign women like a lot of other black men have. I'm not trying to demonize black men for that like that, because a lot of my homies, when they got in certain spaces around certain different types of women, they like are in awe of some of these foreign women beauty. I just never been a brother that was like enamored with that. I was never the brother that was just like, oh my God, this is a foreign girl. I gotta get a foreign, something different. Nah, I always felt the natural connection and natural vibe, the natural attraction to a black woman without question. Like, I grew up in black neighborhoods all throughout the south side of Chicago. I went to a historically black college for my undergrad years. I went to predominantly white school for grad school, but yet and still my attraction and my natural attention or attraction to black women, it never faded. I feel like it grew. It grew throughout me dealing with certain things in life and just growing and becoming more enlightened about certain things. And while you can love who you want to love and date who you date. I'm not villainizing any man for doing that. But me personally, as I've gotten older, I gotta be with a black woman, y'all. I have to. And that's for several reasons, man. Like I told y'all before, it's a natural connection and thing with a black woman. I don't have to explain certain things of oppression that black communities deal with. I don't have to explain certain things. I don't have to make a black woman believe that the systemic racism is a thing. It exists. I don't have to try to convince her that black people aren't making these things up. She'll understand certain things. When we have children, I will teach my children knowledge of self and how to operate in this world as a black person, especially if I have a boy, which I do. Teach them how to operate in this life as a black man without any interference from another side of the family telling him that color doesn't matter, race doesn't matter, only the merits of your character matter, which is not true, right? If I'm with a white woman or a non-black woman, a lot of times you might have to, sometimes you don't, but a lot of times you might have to battle with that, especially if it's a white American woman and her ideals from her grandparents or her mom and dad. I was like, oh no, color doesn't matter, race doesn't matter. And me being a black man from Southside Chicago, that went to a HBCU, not even just that, a black man period in America, I understand certain things that black men are up against in this country. I understand certain things that black folks are up against in this country, black men or women. And I'm going to tell my children that and make them aware so they don't go out into this world just in the blind, right? Another thing is, man, as I've gotten older, I realized things. When you marry a woman, your finances go directly into her family as well and her community as well. Like it does, whether you want to separate it or not. When you marry a woman, your money goes into her finances, her family, and her community. And it's just natural, and there's no way around that. Like when you dating a woman, you gonna help her mom. Like if you pass away, right? You get some large amount of insurance money. She gonna get her money to her people, to certain causes that's that's dealing with her people. All of that, right? She's gonna do. That's what's gonna happen. And so I have to pour money into black causes. I'm sorry, people might take that a certain way. They might say, "Oh, it's racist. It's racist." Nah, bro. My people have been behind the 8 ball for so long. If I ever came into some money, I gotta help my people rise up. For real. Now I'm gonna take care of my family. My direct duty is to my family, my children, my family. It is. But what if I got a nice chunk of change? You best believe my money gonna be going to Mississippi Valley State University, the HBCU, that helped me get my degree and helped me get the credential in this world to show that I had a skill and I was able to work in corporate America and do it well. Okay. Now I got my master's degree from a predominantly white institution, Arkansas State, which helped me as well. That master's degree did a lot for me. But Arkansas State got all the money in the world. They get money driven in all the time. They're not thirsty for $1, and they still get mega donations from people. Meanwhile, Mississippi Valley State don't have millionaires and billionaires walking all through their campus or coming through there, or people just want to give money to a school in the Mississippi Delta in a place called Itabena, Mississippi. Mississippi Valley State is the youngest institution in the SWAC. My father is 5 years younger than the school that I went to. My school was founded in 1950. We are the least funded in the SWAC. We're the smallest school in the SWAC, clearly. So it is my duty to give back to that school. And once I get my money to Mississippi Valley, give my money to black businesses, other HBCUs, right? Especially the ones who are struggling, the ones who don't get all the money, like Howard and Hampton, they get all the money. Clark Atlanta and Spelman and Morehouse, they get all the money. What about Arkansas Pine Bluff? What about not Prairie View, you get Prairie View. What about a Southern University? What about Grambling State? What about Alcorn? What about all these other different black colleges across the country that get forgotten about? Cheney. What about Wilberforce? I'm sorry. What about Central State? It's so many different HBCUs people can get in money to, and I got to be with a woman if I pass away, and hopefully I get rich one day. Hopefully I do. She puts my money into black causes and helping other black businesses, because I gotta help. If I was a billionaire, I gotta help level the playing field for my people. You know what I mean? Because Jewish people are gonna put their money into other Jewish causes and other Jewish people without question. So yeah. And if I marry a black woman, yeah, and something happens to me, she gonna put money to her people too. That's what they do. And yeah, put it into a black family to help other black people rise up. Y'all, your cousin them got a black business, give your cousin them some money to help them rise up to it and even his playing field out. If I'm with a non-black woman, she gonna put money to her family, and other causes that probably not gonna be black, And listen, everybody should want to be achieving great things and wanting to be successful, but I know what my people have been up against, right? Also, too, man, I'm proud of my black culture. I take pride in being a black man in this country. I don't have nothing against, I love everybody, but I take pride in this melanin that's on my skin, right? And if I'm with a black woman and I'm procreating with a black woman, that melanin can continue. That melanin will go on and on and on and on. If I'm with a non-black woman, my children and granted, I have children that are lighter than me now, but they're obviously black children. They're obviously black, without question, 100% black, right? If I marry a white woman, a Asian, non-black woman, all of that. Hey, them black features, that black phenotype is gonna get diluted and drained out. And then, see, this is what happens too. And I'm not trying to be funny. You can do what you want to do. A lot of times with men or women, when a parent dates a non-black person, they marry a non-black person and they procreate, a lot of times, especially if they're in an affluent area, if they're in an affluent area, their children are going to date non-black people too, especially when they're not around other black people. They're going to date non-black folks too. And they're going to continue, and eventually that black phenotype going to get washed out the bloodline. You ain't going to even be able to tell that Mac people was black down the line, you know. Now, granted, I can't control who my children date. When I'm like, and honestly, I'm not gonna do that because that's gonna drive a wedge between me and my children, and you know, it's gonna make me feel like I'm against them. I'm not gonna do that to them, right? And who knows what what woman or what man my daughter will date, or what woman my son would date. You just never know, right? They're gonna date who they want to date and live the life they want to live. I'm not gonna try to force them to live a life I want them to live, or force them to live a life I lived. Okay, let you do your thing, right? But I'm gonna set the precedent for my children. You know what I mean? Like, you gonna see me with a black woman. You know, you gonna see me, you know, doing my thing and being with a black woman and loving a black woman and all of that. And, you know, hopefully, and listen, they gonna do what they want to do, but they probably might follow suit if they see that. You know, I see Jamie Foxx's daughter getting a lot of flack because she's marrying a white man. But Jamie is a known, he dates white women. That's what he dates. He loves to date white women. That's his preference. All his children are with white women. So his biracial daughter, right? She looking at her white mom. She looking at what her father did. She had no problem. Is she living in influence around other white folks? She got no problem. They know white women. It's like, okay, that's already been set for me. Their precedent has already been set for me. Now, granted, there's black men who marry black women and they live in influence and they gonna date other, because they're in an affluent neighborhood where black people aren't around. They gonna date non-black women and all that too. But yeah, man, I'm proud of this black culture, man. I want my black phenotype to last for a long time, like other people want their culture to last for a long time. But honestly, and it's not, again, if my son dates a non-black woman, do your thing. My daughter dates a non-black person, do your thing. But me, I feel like that black woman understand me. I naturally click with the black woman in chemistry. I like black features. I like full lips. I like hips. I like thick thighs. I like, the black noses. I like all of that. And so I'm attracted to the black phenotype too. And am I saying phenotype? That's the right thing? Phenotype? I believe that's the way. Yeah, I want that to continue, you know? And yeah, I will set the precedent for that. Black melanin, keep going down, all down